Saturday. We've had a great day here. It looks like a good weekend ahead for us. I think we'll be seeing temperatures on the cool side today. Slight chance of a shower. Most of us will stay dry, but there is that slight chance. Most all of the day is going to turn out to be dry. We got some great weather ahead here for the next several days. I think our temperatures here are going to be up into the mid 30s to upper 30s this afternoon, 40s on Sunday, and into the 50s on Monday. Hey, we got the time change this weekend. We moved the clocks ahead 1 hour. That comes at 2 a.m. We just go instantly from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. I remember staying at the station once and watching the clocks, which automatically reset. They just go, whether it's the analog or the digital clocks, whatever we have. They just spring ahead all by themselves, and it worked out very well. An interesting note I have on here for record temperatures today, the highest we've ever been on any March the 8th is 78 in the year 2013 is the coldest we've ever been. And that was in 1943. So let's take a look right now at some peak wind gusts from back in on this date in 2017. This was an interesting day because it was sunny. We had 100% sunshine in Grand Rapids and had a superbly windy day. Just really incredible. And you know, you wouldn't think it'd be kind of a dangerous day out there because the sun was shining. You normally don't get winds like that unless it's a severe thunderstorm or a very rare winter blizzard, something like that. But we had 64 miles an hour in Grand Rapids and Lansing, 62 miles an hour in Ionia, East Grand Rapids, 60 miles an hour in Jackson, 55 to 59 there in Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, Charlotte, Grand Haven, and Ludington. This was the day that the roof came off the old Nash Opera House in Clarksville, which is in Ionia County. We estimated the winds there were probably pretty close to 70 miles an hour. I remember going through Clarksville, and when we were coming back from going to Hillsdale or Lansing, we would stop in Clarksville and have some ice cream at the store there. So that was kind of neat. Here's some wind gusts from the east side of the state. Saginaw and Detroit Metro had 68 mile an hour wind gusts. Ann Arbor at 62. Most all of the state had wind gusts over 50 miles an hour, and we had 1.1 million customers without power. A lot of the tree limbs and trees that came down fell on power lines, and that was a pretty amazing day. Again, that was March 8th in the year 2017. Nothing like that coming our way now. A dry pattern expected for the most part. We'll catch a random shower or two, but basically dry weather expected here for the next week or so. Above average sunshine is expected. We'll see good weather for winter sports for this weekend. The ski resorts still have snow for you to play in, and if you travel north, there's a lot of snow on the ground. Temperatures have been cold enough that even when you get up around the Gaylord area there's enough snow to run a snow machine, Kalkaska, Mansalona areas, and of course lots of snow in the UP. There's still places up there that have 40 inches of snow on the ground. Could see our first 60-degree temperature here in the next week. Well, time to thank our sponsor. Have a listen.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
Yeah, it looks like we'll be seeing some spring cleaning type weather here soon. Not a lot of snow going on across the country compared to what we've had of late. If you check out the border between Colorado and New Mexico, some heavy snowfall expected there. That gets into the Texas Panhandle, where it's actually going to be colder this weekend than it will be here in southern Michigan. And if you look up toward Washington State, you got some heavy snow there in the Cascade Mountains, and that little dot to the west of Seattle is Mount Olympus there. Little bit of light snow, Montana, Idaho, and of course in the northern part of New England, there's still a dot of another 6 inches of snow there in the Tug Plateau east of Lake Ontario. We'll zoom into West Michigan here for just a second and show you that the white areas is where it won't snow at all. In the light blue areas, there could be a snow shower, but at the most a dusting over the next 72 hours. I'll probably pick up an inch or two of snow up in that area southwest of Gaylord, and a couple spaces there in the UP picking up an inch of snow. But we're going to tone down the snow, and if you're doing any traveling, it should be a pretty good weekend to do that. So let's take a look at what we have here for you today. I think we can inch up to around 37 or 38. It will be a cool day. I don't have a raindrop or snowflake there, but it's not impossible. There could be a random snow shower or rain shower here. Most likely time for that would be towards evening. Humidity does go down to 50% briefly this afternoon, and winds will be west to southwest. They could kick up to around 13 to 15 miles an hour this afternoon. So keep in mind that it may get just a bit breezy here during the afternoon. Here's high temperatures across the U.S. today. You can see the cold air down there in the Texas Panhandle. Quite a wide range of temperatures across, Texas. You got temperatures that are approaching 90 down toward Brownsville, and it'll be snowing up in the Texas Panhandle. We'll see readings in the mid 30s here for much of the afternoon. And then we move ahead to Sunday and show you temperatures starting to warm up, mid 40s here in West Michigan. The cool air continues to move off to the east. It won't be snowing, but temperatures stuck only in the low to mid 50s there in that blue area from Arkansas, Louisiana into East Texas. So let's take a look at what we have for the next 5 days. A lot of sunshine coming our way after a kind of a cloudy winter. Cool day today. Like I said, just a slight chance for a shower here later on in the day. Temperatures will reach the mid to upper 30s today, mid 40s Sunday, mid 50s on Monday with lighter winds. Should be a pretty nice day. This will get some of those. What's the plural of crocus? I should ask Michelle. She's the English major. Is it crocuses or croci or croci? He was the time in the bottle guy, not him. Anyhow, pattern will be warmer here.
First
You
of
got
all,
any
I was
thoughts?
not an English major, and second, I don't know.
Oh, well, what did you score on your English ACT? Didn't you score like 32 or something?
34, but I did not major in English,
34.
and I
Okay.
don't know the plural of crocus was not on it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Mhm.
that's anything that ends in US like cactus, cacti, would a pair of crocuses be a croci? I don't
How
know.
do you even spell crocus?
Crocus.
Plural of crocus.
Yeah.
Crocus.
Yeah, and it probably wimps out and says there's 18 different ways you can spell it.
Croci. Croci. Or crocuses. Both are correct.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
matter of personal preference.
All
So
right.
there
Well,
you
we
go.
figured that out.
All
How
right.
do
All
how
right.
do health
Carry on.
systems? All right. Yes. There's a look at your 5 day forecast. Good pattern if you're looking for some spring like weather here. And like I said, some of those early bulb flowers should be popping out here soon with that type of pattern. And one more here. This is the long range outlook. We're back to above average here. I'm not seeing any big snowstorms coming our way, but I do think there'll be a significant storm system in the western Great Lakes here, not this weekend, but next weekend. And it'll be windy and rainy. And by the way, if you're really into winter sports and snow skiing, probably this is the last really good weekend for that. So that's something you might want to consider. So let's see what else we got coming up here.
All right, we're back. All right, so we talked about yesterday Michigan State at least sharing their share of the Big Ten
Mhm.
championship for men's basketball, and they did win it outright. Hooray! The last time they won was in the year 2020, and that makes them the number one seed in the Big Ten tournament, which we all know is not the Big Ten. I looked it up. It's the Big 18.
Yeah, 18 for most sports, and it keeps growing.
But Big Ten still sounds good, and their graphics pretty neat.
Yes. And they're spread out all across the country. I mean, and part of this was to get TV revenue in the big cities too. They're, with UCLA, they're into Los Angeles. With Rutgers, they're into the New York City market. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I can imagine that's an interesting plane ride, to hop on a plane in Los Angeles and have to travel all the way to New York City to play Rutgers. There'd be any
Yeah.
jet lag or anything in there that might be a factor.
Well, it will be exciting to see how they do in playoff action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Christian Reformed Church former headquarters building is in the process of being demolished. And we all know the building. It was at the corner of 28th and Kalamazoo next to the Meyer. I used to drive past it all the time.
I
Um,
drove past it Thursday.
yeah, had they started?
Yes, and there were 4 or 5 cranes or machines there that were tearing it down.
So Meyer bought the building and they're putting in a gas station, and then they've got plans for other development. The CRC Church, they bought a building near Calvary Church on the East Belt Line. So they just moved their headquarters, and they cited that the building had overdue maintenance. Meyer wanted to buy it, and it just made sense for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what happened to the Christian Reformed Church building.
Mm-hmm.
All right, other things I found online, excuse me, today that were interesting to me. California had significant problems with its online bar exam administration. There were a lot of jurisdictions that went to an online administration during COVID. California tried to keep some of that in place. Anyways, they had big software problems with their February 2025 exam. There were crashes, lost work. Why is it a big deal? Because preparing for the bar exam is this big event. You study for months and months. You've got a plan to get time off work, not just to take the exam, but to study, to do this one test and know all that stuff in a moment of time, and then hopefully remember it to practice law. And to have all that not work on game day would be really stressful, and then not knowing how that's going to be happening. So it was a whole big thing. And of course, as lawyers and future lawyers, they already sue.
So the lawyers are suing each other.
Yes. Yes.
Why are they still doing it online since it's 2025 and not 2020?
That is a good question. Well, there's different viewpoints on that. Some people say it makes it more accessible because people don't have to arrange for travel. I do believe that California still did have an in-person option for people who wanted it, but people don't have the travel expense and logistics, which might make it more accessible. On the other hand, the other side of that is, well, not everyone has a quiet space where they can take the exam. Not everyone's got the same access to lighting or the appropriate setting. So is it really fair that people are able to take it in different settings? So it's a very interesting question on how these exams should be administered and what's the most fair. So during COVID, when Michigan did have their exam online, they had problems with it too. Come to find out, the bar exam has changed quite a bit from the time that I took it. They've moved to the uniform bar exam, along with many other states that administer the same exam, and then that helps with transferability of scores, which is actually a great thing because, you know, more than ever, people move around these days. And then there's a Michigan online training portion that everybody has to do for the Michigan component. But yeah, online bar exams and getting software to work definitely has its challenges.
Is it easier to cheat? Can somebody, if they were nefarious, figure out a way to do that?
That's a good question. I don't know because my mind doesn't go there. I know that when the kids were going through high school, they had a lot of online classes, especially because they were affected by COVID, and there's a proctoring system. So I don't know how it works for the bar exam, but for the ones they took, there's a person in your computer watching you take that exam.
Oh, okay.
So maybe some of that. Back in the day for our law school exams, they were taken electronically. So we did type our exams. They weren't online, but we all had to buy external floppy disk drives. Yeah, floppy disks. I'm that old. And a software program. And then you had to use that software program during the exam to lock yourself out of all other programs. But then the bar exam was not online, was not typed when I took it. I did it all by hand.
Oh, okay.
And it was stressful. I can't imagine the added stress if there was some kind of technical difficulty.
I'm reading your words here.
Yeah.
Why only 45 of the approximately 300 member class at U of M took the Michigan exam?
Yes, because only 20% of the entering Michigan U of M law students are Michigan residents to begin with. Interesting questions. They do have a very high pass rate for the 45 that did take the exam. That is the best in the state. But Michigan State and Wayne State also did well, but they're also sending way more people to take it. So interesting questions.
So would
just
they be
reporting
taking the bar
facts.
exam in different states then?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Okay. And here's more. We've got to talk about how Cooley did. They sent 22 to take the bar exam for the first time in July, and they had a 50% rate. And the overall pass rate was 77%. And then, okay, so What happened in February? They had 28 first-time test takers, and 15 of 28 passed. Okay, so where are the rest of the Cooley grads, which was my next question. And they also have a Florida campus, and they have a significant number at that Florida campus, and quite a few of their graduates take the exam in Florida as well. So Cooley self-reports a first-time bar passage rate of 51 and change percent for their 2024 graduates. So lots of interesting questions about how our law schools are doing, what they should be doing. Those are the facts. So
Okay.
Okay, things to do this weekend. Clue the Musical. Broadway Grand Rapids is on with Clue the Musical, and if you've already got seats, congratulations. There are not many left. It looked like the most seats were left for March 9 at 6:30. I saw a handful of seats, but there are some here or there. So if you've already got seats, have a great time.
Yeah, should be a good show.
Yeah. And here's your question of the day. So I did my freelancing today, and all the things we talk about on this show are things that like I find when I'm bored, like, oh, I wonder when the light brown M&M went away. I think I better stop what I'm doing and look that up. So today's question for you to guess is, what year did we lose the light brown M&M?
Okay, I have absolutely no idea, so I'll guess 2003.
Oh, so far off. You've got to go back quite a few years.
Oh,
1995.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember the light brown ones. Why did they do that?
What color replaced it?
I give up.
Blue. We didn't have blue before then.
They
They
have
took out.
blue?
No, we took out light brown and we got blue instead.
Oh, okay. Well, I like blue.
Yeah, but the powers that be, the M&M overlords, decided we needed blue M&Ms instead of light brown in 1995.
Outside of the dye to make them a different color, are they any different one color to another?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just the artificial colors and flavors.
I mean, I have a bowl of them. You know, that little gizmo that you gave me for Christmas is still here on the desk.
Excellent.
Yeah, I should have brought it over and showed it to you.
Is it working any better?
What's really interesting is, it's automatic. You just wave your hand underneath it, and an M&M is supposed to come out. But instead of one coming out, I usually get about 15 of them coming out.
Well, that sounds better.
It's a marketing ploy, I think.
Yes. This was happening because I was eating M&Ms while I was doing my freelance writing. Like, oh,
good.
I wonder when the last time I had a brown one was.
I think if I could criticize trail mix, it's like there isn't enough M&Ms in trail mix.
That's true.
There's just a few of them, but yeah, interesting.
And all right, you took this photo. Where were you?
I was in Alaska.
Oh, and I forgot to change the title. It's still the light brown M&M.
Yeah, that was up in Alaska. We took a boat ride to go see whales. We saw a whale. We saw sea otters, sea lions. That was near Valdez, Alaska.
That's beautiful.
As you can see, it was an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous day. We had dinner outside 2 nights in a row. We were there, and that was a fantastic trip. I would go on that trip again.
Yeah. And we went to Alaska once together.
We went to Juneau. This one went to Anchorage, then up to Fairbanks, and then back around toward Anchorage, and then back home again. But it was great trip.
All right. Well, I'm out tomorrow. Every once in a while, I do have to actually go work at the airport.
Yeah, should be a pretty good day where you are.
Yeah.
And you're in full spring. I would imagine some of the early flowers are coming up. Blossoms ready to come out, and magnolias out.
And I will use whatever plural iteration of crocuses okay. I prefer to use, because now we all know it's all good, fair game.
It's croci or crocuses, but not Jim Croce.
All right. Good night.
Have a good day, everybody.